们放学了，一起来玩吧！大家好，欢迎收看我们今天的节目，我是你们的好朋友溜溜球。哇，今天的阳光是不是很棒呢？到户外走一走啊，当然是要戴上口罩啊，我可要在我的兜里，我觉得可以啊，让我们的心情变得更好。OK， 那我们今天的节目呢，要带着我们的华语电视小主播呢，一起就着我们上一次艺术节的比赛来做一个赛后的访问。2020的这个文化天使艺术节呢，每一个小朋友都获得了很棒的名次啊，有白金奖、有金奖、有银奖。总而言之呢，在比赛当中呢，除了名次之外呢，更重要的是经历和成长。所以呢，这一次啊，我们特别把我们的2位评委，一位呢是来自我们好莱坞的青年演员 Tim， 另外一位呢是我们 UCLA 的我们的 Miss Rizai， 请到了我们的演播室当中，和他们来聊一聊在学习艺术的过程当中，他们有什么想分享的，并且呢，这次担任我们的评委，他们到底做了哪一些工作呢？另外呢，我们也请到了3位非常资深的啊，我们平时在南加州啊做 After School， 特别是艺术方面培训非常资深的老师，作为这次比赛代表团的比赛啊，这个代表来跟我们来聊一聊这个小朋友在这个比赛的过程当中到底收获了一些什么。好了，最后跟大家讲一下，我们的节目播出时间呢是每周5的下午4点半，在我们的华语电视44.2啊。那每个星期六的早上呢，在我们的1300 10点到11点都是我们的电视和广播版。同时呢，也需要大家赶紧去下载我们的牛电视，今年是牛年，下载了牛电视就能扭转乾坤哦。好了，我是溜溜球，赶快走进今天的快乐小主播吧。
Hello, my name is Dr. Sanaz Rezai. Thank you so much for having me on your show tonight. I was so excited to judge this competition. I've judged it in the past, and this year I was just so impressed, especially with everything that's going on in the world this year. It's been such a strange year, and I just was so impressed with the level of the students. They worked so hard. I was also so impressed with your teachers' hard work. I was just so happy to hear you all play and perform, and I was so proud of you all. So thank you so much for having me this year at your competition. I was just so happy to hear your beautiful performances. Even though it wasn't in person, I was still so happy to hear you in my home. And I was just so moved by your beautiful musicality, and I was just so impressed. So thank you for performing for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, and we're so happy to have you. And thank you also. And every year you join us for this competition to judge everybody and to give the young people a lot of suggestion, what is super useful to them. Okay, so today I'm gonna represent. We have a lot of amazing and gorgeous the Sino TV little anchor. So they have some few questions gonna ask you.
Hi, Ms. Rizai. I'm Isabella Sao from the Sino TV Little Anchor. I got 2 questions to ask you today. My first question is, I know that you have been in a lot of competitions. Do you have any experience to share with us?
Yes. So that's such a wonderful question, Isabel. I think that's a really wonderful question. When I was your age, I would compete a lot, and I would get very, 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 very nervous. That's an understatement. I would get so nervous. I couldn't sleep at night. And, I would, even right before I would perform, I would get nervous. But over the years, I learned to control my nerves by doing just different types of things. For example, making sure I get a good night of sleep. Making sure that before I play, I just do a lot of breathing exercises and just make sure that I'm super relaxed. And I make sure that I have a very good breakfast. I make sure I eat some eggs, some bananas. I always eat kind of the same thing. And that way I feel, just ready for the competition mentally and physically. It's both mental and physical, these competitions. So I really recommend that you have some type of a ritual or routine before you go on stage for yourself. It could be anything you want it to be, whatever helps you. It could be doing yoga. It could be going on a run. It could be watching your favorite show the night before and relaxing. Whatever it takes, but just to make sure that you have some relaxation in your routine. So that's what I would recommend. So it's a great question. Thank you, Isabel.
Actually, I also play piano too since I was 5. And I'm working really hard as you right now, and I also really want to be really great piano player since when I grow up. My second question is, I know that you're a really good piano player. And how do you have passions with piano?
That's a great question, Isabella. So, I mean, the most important thing is that I love the pieces that I'm working on. I have to make sure that the pieces that I'm working on, I'm really passionate about. And if I'm passionate about the pieces, then I can practice many hours on these pieces because I care so much about these pieces. And I think another thing to think about when we're really passionate is to make sure we have a very good teacher that supports that passion, and to make sure that you share your passion about music to your teacher and they guide you in the correct direction. For example, by entering in these competitions, by playing many recitals, and by making sure that they assign you pieces that you really love and are passionate about. That's so wonderful that you play piano. So since 5 years old, that's really amazing. I hope I hear you perform one day.
Yeah, that's been one of my dreams. And it's my honor to ask you these questions. Thank you, Ms. Razai.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you. I can't wait to hear you play.
Thank you, Ms. Rizai, and thank you, Isabella. Good job. Yeah, so important. I think, the Rizai gives us a lot of suggestions, like relaxing before the computation and make you feel comfortable. And the practicing is the most important thing when you play the instrument, right? Thank you. All right, the second one is Angela. Angela, finally, ready? Huh?
My name is Angela Yang, and today I have a few questions for you. My first question is, how many awards have you gotten?
Ooh.
Wow, I have no idea. I don't think about these things. There are some awards that were really meaningful, so I will remember those. For one award, I grew up in Austria, near Vienna, and for one of the awards, we won a piano. And that was really exciting because the piano that I had was like an electric keyboard. I was practicing on it when I was younger, and I would use my piano teacher's piano if I wanted to practice more. But this was a really meaningful competition because I didn't have a nice piano. So that award I will never forget. That was truly the greatest award, to have a beautiful piano that I can practice on every day.
My next question is, what is the biggest challenge you face while playing piano?
That's a really good question, Angela. Whew, there are so many challenges. I think that we're always learning, I think that you might think, oh, I'm older than you guys and I've played more than you guys, but there's always, it's always challenging. I think the hardest thing is concentration can sometimes be difficult, there's so much going on sometimes in our lives, right? We become so busy. For example, now I have a baby, I have a 1-year-old baby. So a lot of the times my concentration goes to my 1-year-old baby because, he needs a lot of attention. So I assume maybe it's the same thing with you guys. Sometimes it's hard to concentrate on practicing your instrument because you have a lot of other obligations. You might have lots of homework, you might have a big test. So being able to concentrate is very hard because you might be thinking about these other obligations. So my recommendation for that, my recommendation even to myself, is not to say, okay, today I'm going to practice 2 hours. I don't tell myself to practice many hours. I tell myself, today I'm going to practice a good amount until I can't concentrate anymore. And then I stop practicing, and then I do some other things, and then I come back and practice again. So the most important thing is really to make sure whenever we're doing anything, not just practicing our instrument, whatever we're doing, we're fully concentrated, because that's when we can do our best work. So that's my, recommendation for you guys. Make sure you're always practicing with concentration, not so much like, oh, I need to practice 2 hours a day.
Thank you. That is all of my questions. Thank you, Ms. Rizai.
Thank you, Angela. So nice to meet you. I love your background. It's very cool.
Yeah, as a Manhattan Beach. Yeah, it's really good contribution. Okay, all right. Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Miss Rizai. All right, who is the next? I guess it's Priscilla, huh?
Hi, Mr. Zai. I'm Priscilla. It's nice to meet you. My question for you is, what is your favorite part about your job? Is it the performing or the teaching?
That's a really good question, Priscilla. Wow. I love to teach so much, but I think that being a good performer can make you a very good teacher. It goes both ways. You know, I learned so much from my students. I feel like my students helped me become better performers. It really goes together. I've actually started teaching since I was 13 years old. And it's been my passion since I used to, instead of babysitting, I used to teach piano. And that was like my job since I was 13. And then I continued, and I can't imagine, not teaching, but I also can't imagine not performing. So it's really, I love both so much, and they all go together so well. So I hope, some of you that are a little bit older that are playing piano, it would be a great thing if you have maybe a younger brother or a younger sister or a cousin that's learning piano to help them. And I feel like you would enjoy your own practicing too when you start teaching your own instrument to someone else. So I really suggest that even if you're very young, to start showing your talent to your younger brother and sister and helping them learn the instrument.
That's really cool that you started teaching at such a young age. My second question is, do you have a favorite song or composer or maybe style of piano?
That's a really good question. Oh, wow. I love so many composers. I love in concerts to play different styles of composers. If I have to choose one composer, his name is Maurice Ravel. He's a French composer he lived in the late 19th century to early 20th century. And he actually didn't write that much music. He was such a perfectionist. He didn't write just a bunch of music, but everything he wrote is so beautiful. And he just, everything, there's the piece that, the dearest piece to me is a piece called Gaspard de la Nuit. And it's about 30 minutes long. It's very difficult technically, but it's not just difficult technically, it's so deep and profound and so meaningful. And I think that's why I love his music. It's very involved technically, so you have to do a lot of practicing, but it really involves you emotionally as well. So that's my favorite composer. Who's your favorite composer?
I'm not really sure. I like a lot of different styles and composers, but that was really cool.
Google
thank you, Mr. Lai. It was really nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you, Priscilla.
As a pianist, as a judge, as a teacher, I'm definitely sure Ms. Rizai, you did a great job. Thank you for sharing everything for us. It's really useful for us. Thank you so much. Now, we also have a great guest. Yeah, he's my friend. He's an actor from Hollywood, also a Broadway actor. And he has a lot of experience. So I guess he can wait to share with us. All right, the second guest is Tim Murphy.
Hello,
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me. Hello, my name is Tim Murray. I'm one of the judges of the competition. I'm a musical theater performer and a stand-up comedian. I've performed all over the world, from London to Scotland to New York City to Los Angeles.
And Tim teached us, right? The Broadway show, the school, and the courses and the classes. Yeah, it's such a long time no see you. So kind of miss you. Okay, the first questions I'm wondering. So, what did you do in this competition? You seem that everybody's performs in this competition, like the piano and maybe the vocal, the acting, the drama, and even the short film. Yeah, you got everyone, right? So I really want to know. So what did you do in this competition as a judge, and what is your favorite show? Okay, maybe which one is impressive? Okay.
I, first of all, was amazed at the level of talent in the competition. I thought everyone did an incredible job, and I was really, really thrilled with the creativity. As was mentioned before, all of you are doing this from home, and I've had many Sino TV students in class before and seen their amazing talent and ability level. So to watch what they were able to do from their own homes was incredible. And yeah, like you said, Dominic, I saw everything from ballet I was judging, and original songs and acting pieces, and each one of them more creative than the one before. I thought they were all really, really amazing. And I thought one that really stuck out in my head was contestant ID number 12, Eric Chen Zhu. That was a song that was so adorable and so well put together and so clear. And that was something that I really, really was really impressed by, was the ability to take this vibe of joy in this very hard time and make it so clear, and the tone was so clear throughout the whole time. I thought that was wildly impressive.
Thank you for making everything for us. All right. Okay, the second question is, as an actor, yeah, you're amazing. Yeah, you have a lot of experience. What is so amazing? The Broadway show, the film and TV show. So I know, so nowadays, a lot of young people, they're starting to be strong at the arts, in art area. So never give it up. So any suggestion you want to share with us?
I think this is one of my favorite questions to answer, because I started in show business quite late. When I was around 16 or 17 in high school, I started auditioning for the shows, and I wanted to get the head start that many of you have, a huge head start. And I think it's incredible. And if you are enjoying it, and if you really love it, just continue to keep doing it as much as possible, and keep checking in with yourself to see, okay, what about this do I like, and what about this would I want to continue with as a career? Because as you mentioned, there are many, many different options in show business. You can be an actor, you can be a musician, you can be a dancer, you can be a singer. And I have been lucky enough to take little pieces here and there to create my own path in this. And I've been able to do musical theater, and like you said, some TV, film, and commercial work. And I also do stand-up comedy. So taking everything that you love about this and just continuing to go down that path and never stop is definitely my biggest advice. And also my biggest auditioning advice, if you get a big audition coming up, is to always, always, always tape yourself doing it and do it in front of other people. So if you have a big audition coming up, something that you're nervous about, always have either your brother or your sister, or your mom or your dad, or if you don't have anybody in the house who has time to watch you at that moment, ask a friend on Zoom and practice it in front of people, because we all know the nerves start to come in as soon as we're in front of other people. So that's my biggest advice.
That was great. Yeah. Anyway, if you have a goal, it's right there, but don't give up. Always. Always. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Austin, are you ready?
I'm Austin from Sino TV, and I got a question for you. So my question is, as a comedian, where do you usually perform? Like, perform at schools?
Thank you so much, Austin. That's a great question. And I think the wonderful thing about the world of comedy is there are so many opportunities and so many options. I sometimes perform in colleges or universities, and sometimes I'll perform in festivals in San Francisco Sketch Festival, or got to do the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in Scotland 2 years ago. So that's the great thing about comedy, is it can be everywhere from a very, very small room with only maybe 20 people watching to I've played really huge venues with over 500 people watching. It's a really wonderful art form, and thank you for that question. That was such a great question.
Comedy. Wow. I never know, Austin. You're into comedy, huh? You're like comedy show. Yeah, you might be a comedy star.
My other question is, as a judge, how do you judge them? Based on what?
So, Austin, thank you so much for that question. That's a great question. As a judge, what I'm looking for is the amount of creativity that went into it, the ability level, the technique that's there, the costuming and what was used to how it looks, and also the amount of practice and care that has gone into the routine.
Thank you for sharing with us today, Mr. Murphy.
Thank you so much, Austin, and I hope you continue your love for comedy, and I hope you continue to practice. Thank you for your great questions.
Thank you.
If you want to be the comedy star, so you don't laugh. You just make everybody laugh, but unless you don't laugh. Yeah, if you laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch a lot. Okay, somebody else gonna ask Tim some questions?
Hi, Mr. Murray. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too, Priscilla.
Do you have, have you had a favorite, like maybe your favorite experience in your job before? Or like just a time that was really memorable?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking that. That's such a great question. I've had a lot of great experiences. I would say my favorite thing that I've ever gotten to do was a Harry Potter parody musical in London. It was always a dream of mine to perform in London, and I got to go over there for a month and do a musical with several British actors who I didn't know, and it was very scary, but I think a very good lesson that sometimes things that are scary are the most rewarding if you really push yourself to try something new. Thank you for that question. Yeah, that was definitely my favorite thing that I've ever done. It was so much fun. Thanks, Priscilla.
That's super cool to hear.
We're so jealous. Come on, London. Wow. Harry Potter. That's Harry Potter's hometown.
Yeah.
Deserve it. Yeah, you deserve it. Okay, anything else, Priscilla? They're too cool, huh? Yeah, a lot of impressive experience they have, but they're like the real model, so you keep going. So nowadays we celebrate Chinese New Year. So are you guys would like to learn a little bit tiny Chinese to celebrate like Happy New Year? I could teach you. That's my job.
Yes.
When we say Happy New Year in Chinese, we'll say 新年快乐. 快乐 means happy. 新年 means is New Year. Okay, Mr. Rizai, you'll be the first. Okay, repeat me. 新年快乐.
新年快乐.
That was good. Thank you. I let you go. Yes, obviously you're the best. Okay, you're the best you can.
Not a good student.
Good. That's good. It's a Chinese. Hey, Tim, are you ready? You're an actor. Yeah, you have a lot of talent.
Yeah.
新年快乐.
新年快乐.
Good emotion. All right, so Mr. Rizai and Mr. Murray, you finished your part, and it was a really nice. And thank you for joining us today. And hope you guys happy Chinese New Year, best of luck. It's Oxen Year, Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. This is so fun.
All right.
Nice job,
Okay.
everyone.
Okay, say bye. Have a great day.
掌声鼓励，再次感谢所有取得好成绩的，在我们2020文化天使艺术节当中的小艺术家，也感谢今天我们的所有接受访问的我们的2位评委，还有3位老师，更要感谢我们的小主播给我们进行了整一场访问。相信通过访问呢，你们学习到了很多主持的技巧哦。好了，我是溜溜球，最后同学们一起喊出我们的口号：我们放学了，一起来玩吧！我们下周5、下周6不见不散，拜拜。